Hi, I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design. This evening, I'm up to it again. I'm heating my Coco. Now, I'm doing a little different tonight. I'm using an M3 stove, which actually has been converted to M4 safety base. So I guess it's an M4 stove. And because I'm only heating up 6 ounces of water for Coco, I took the donut wick right off, and I'm just running it with a center wick. And I'm using one of Batch Stove's 12-ounce pots that he built, and I've got a 10-centimeter lid on it upside down, and it's pretty close to Coco. Now, while that's heating up here, when I get down there, I'm gonna put it in the cup here and see if my theory is right, if that isn't a good way to go. And it won't be long now. So, if while I'm talking I stop suddenly, that's because I'll hear this pot talking. It's a little cool up here. Hot cocoa would be nice. Went out to eat tonight. I don't do that very often. That's not a common thing for me. Maybe once a month, but I did go out tonight, Sue Beth and I, and we had a really good time. And now we're back home, and it's in the evening. I've watched the news, and I'm going to have some cocoa and goof around here a little bit, watch a few YouTube videos, then I'm going to go to bed. And tomorrow, I've got to get up and build stoves, because tonight, for some reason, I sold a bunch of M stoves, 4s, 5s, 2s, and ironically, I'm starting to talk right now, ironically, I didn't sell a lot of, at least and when I made this video, of the M2SB. I think I have saturated the market on that. And that's a classic example of what I'm talking about, saturating the market. I've only sold 8 or 10 of them. So if I had sent these out and had them CNC'd and had 100 made of them, I might sell them over time and I might not, but I'd a lot rather have 8 sold and none waiting to be sold than I would to have 8 sold and having 92 of them waiting in the wings. I think the way I'm doing it is a good way to go. Make them as you go. And when that last one sells, I'll put 2 more in. And they might sell right away, and that might be the end of it. Okay, my theory here is that this is going to go right in here like this. There. And now, yay, that's hot. Now, that burned on the way down, that's hot. But that works fine. That's a good way to go. Not the least bit warm. Perfect. That's a good idea. I might carry that. Okay, I want to talk about, maybe for another 3 or 4 minutes here, I want to talk about gear. Now, in my opinion, light is good. Light is always good, but having gear that's fragile is not good. So we have to strike a happy medium between fragile and lightweight. Now, I don't think it's very smart to carry something that's very lightweight and carry it all the way up the side of a mountain, and when you get there and open your pack up, find out that it's been crushed so you can't use it anymore. You'd been better off to have just left it home if you can't use it. So when it comes to things like lids and pots and stuff like that, I'm not going to take lids that serious, because to be perfectly honest with you, you can get by just fine without a lid, and no matter what happens to it, you can take your hands and just bend it back in shape. You can use it. Although I really don't recommend carrying a lid that you can just take in your fingers and crush like that. I just don't see the point. I carry a good piece of aluminum foil before I carry a lid like that. But the pot, these pots that fold right up, that you know, if they're in your pack and something moves in your pack, it's going to crush the pot. That's too flimsy for me. I don't want to get where I'm going and find out that my pot has come unglued on me and crushed itself. That's the problem I have with beer cans. And second off, oh, it's good. If the pot is so flimsy that you've got to carry it in a case, and the weight of the case in the pot is the same weight as a decent pot that doesn't need a case, I think you can see my point there. You know, like this 10 centimeter Armusi, you don't need a carry case for it. So if you've got a lighter pot that you have to have a carry case, you really have to add in the weight of the carry case and the lid. And if it weighs more than the Armusi 10 centimeter by itself, well, I think you can see my point. Somebody asked me if this 5x23, which pots it would fit in. Well, it'll certainly fit in the 12, and it drops right into the 10. And actually, this little pot from batch stoves, it goes right in there, and it's just level with the top. So that's another kudo for the batch stoves pot, which I'm really starting to like. That's a good setup. There's a boiling hot cocoa I put in there, and it's just nice and warm on the hands, that's all. Whereas if you had it in the pot, you'd be trying to balance it and hang on to that little piece of fiberglass wick. Not a big fan of these fiberglass wick wraps, but in this situation, it works well. Another thing, for example, trying to save weight. Now, I've seen a lot of people do this. They won't boil water. They'll bring it up to like 98 degrees and then blow the stove out and then wait longer for the meal to rehydrate. You can do that just fine. In fact, you don't even need to boil water. You can put regular room temperature water like Redwood Outdoors does in your meal and just wait. I don't know how long. Longer than normal, but you can do it. You can rehydrate the meal without boiling water at all. You can do it with cold water if you don't mind eating a cold meal. But my thought is this. If that water's at like 190 degrees and I blow this stove out, there's still alcohol in the stove and, you know, trying to dump it back in the bottle. I mean, how much longer would it have taken to get it to 212? Another minute? I really don't think for anybody bringing it up to 190 or 198 or whatever and then blowing this out, and I don't think you're saving anything. I think the alcohol, it evaporates once you blow it out, and especially with a wick stove, the alcohol stays in the wick and everything. I don't think you gain a thing. So, if you don't gain anything, then why not wait another minute, bring it to a boil, put it in, and do it the correct way, and eat a nice warm meal that isn't crunchy. I don't get it. Unless you've got a stove that just is so wimpy it won't boil water, which I suspect might be the reason why some people are doing that. There are some stoves that won't boil water very well. They'll bring it up to like 190 and they just don't have enough punch to get it up to 212. And that would be another example of carrying something very, very light that doesn't work very, very well. I mean, if I'm going to carry a stove, and the difference between having one that will boil water easily and one that won't quite boil water, if the difference is 1/4 of an ounce, I'm going to carry the extra 1/4 of an ounce because I want my water boiling. When I pour that water into that dehydrated meal, I want it smoking, boiling, the steam rolling right off of it. When I eat my meal, I want it all rehydrated and I want it warm. Crunchy noodles and lukewarm coffee are for newbies. I know better than that. So, I beat my gums enough. I'm going to finish drinking my cocoa and pack it in. I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design. Get out and hike, take a friend, enjoy the great outdoors, and more important than anything, try not to take life too serious. Don't take me too serious. Try to have some fun. Try to just laugh at life a little bit and have a really great day. Bye-bye. good cocoa.